Hi, I'm Lynn Carley. I am co-founder, chairman of the board, and lead behavior specialist.
Hi, I'm Chuck McStay, and I am also co-founder and president of the board and, executive director. So Finding You Sanctuary is a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're established in 2014. And we have three missions. One is to rescue dogs from euthanasia, and then to pair them with veterans with invisible wounds. And then a little further down the road, when those two core missions are accomplished, we'll be adding a third mission, which is to reach out to the local community and engage them in the process of the first two.
So my role in having the nonprofit and calling it Finding You Sanctuary is that it started all when the beginning of the war, and I just wanted so much to help dogs have a place to be when their veteran owners had to leave them, and have them there for when they came back.
So statistically, veterans, just in Massachusetts alone, there are 80,000 reported veterans with PTSD. Now that's not even PTS, that's just PTSD. Now that's estimated by the Veterans Association, or administration rather, as being a fraction, something like 10%. And so there's a lot of need out there for the veterans themselves. So we like to step up, and that's one of the reasons why we're working with the veterans. Now, as far as rescue dogs, there are 3.3 million rescue dogs, or abandoned dogs. By the way, they're both abandoned in essence. So the 3.3 million abandoned dogs, there's still 700,000 that are not rescued through the rescue community, which has really stepped up in the last 3 or 4 years. It has reduced that euthanasia rate from 3.3. Just a couple of years ago it was 1.5, now it's down to 0.7. So 700,000 dogs are still being euthanized that don't need to be, and we just want to play our role in that.
My method is more of a natural way of being with dogs, but I find that my method is more of showing the person how to be with their dog, which definitely, in order to have the dog do something you want it to do, which it's not agreeing to, you must do it yourself. If you want your dog not to be aggressive and bite people, you must become allowing and friendly around people. And the one thing I do find, and I even go through it myself, is when you're walking your dog, it's the biggest complaint I have. My dog is crazy on the leash, seems aggressive when I see people and their dogs. And so I walk with the person that's complaining about that. The first thing that comes out of their mouth is, look, here it comes, gonna have a problem. Here comes a dog and a person. And I say, smile at that person. Think to yourself, it's okay that they're out. Isn't it great that dog gets to be out too? Instead of, uh-oh, we have problems, we have dogs coming. It just means we need to learn to be, as we're going to eventually do, is have the community involved. And you must be open to having people in your lives, to have out there with you, walking with the dogs. The dogs love each other, but the aggression starts from anxiety, and we all have anxiety. And so that's what my method is, and it did not start out that way. It just started out helping veterans to connect with their dog, to watch, and then I can show them how they can watch their dog's behavior mimic theirs, or mirror it, as they say, and then I help them teach. After I've taught them that, then that's when you can start to heal your soul and your dogs at the same time, because that's opening up to the world.
Well, what we learned from Dr. Edward Tick, who is well known for taking veterans to Vietnam to meet their counterparts so that they can both heal together, was that there is a reciprocal social contract. We ask veterans to do terrible things in our name, to keep us safe,
yes,
and to keep freedom alive around the world. We need to help them prepare while they're in combat, and also support their family structure while they're there. Because they're all left behind, and to fend for themselves. And then also to receive them back home after they've experienced these traumas. And so that's our reciprocal social contract with a veteran. Now with dogs, it's the same thing. We've domesticated them. we've asked them to not be so natural, to live in a setting that's not natural to them, to live outside of the natural pack mentality that they have. And so once we take over that responsibility truly, then we are also engaging in that reciprocation, taking care of them. And that's why the rescue dog community has been so successful, is because people are really attaching themselves to it. And so we combine both, because they're both misunderstood and often abandoned, not just by their families, because they're just misunderstood. And so we put them together. Yeah.
This is ongoing for life. This is a lifelong thing that all of us should go through. We all have our issues, and that's what we found with veterans, was that we won't drop them. And their dogs will always, we can help them with their dogs when they need it.
That's why the sanctuary concept.
The sanctuary, yeah. Having them be able to have bad days and say, you need to take my dog, I'm having a rough day. Absolutely. And when you're ready, you can come back or stay here. And for us, the program is probably definitely for about 3 to 4 months. And we do put a lot of time into helping them learn structure and then helping them move out of structure, because life isn't always structured. And once that happens, it doesn't stop.
We've developed a program. Lynn and I went through extensive research with the VA. We've been with VA counselors, and we've been with other nonprofits and their boards. And we've gone to generals.
Yes.
We've spoken with them directly. I've spoken with other countries. There was a colonel in another country, very familiar with our system, and also the rates of PTSD, PTS, and other types of inner wounds. The Finding You Sanctuary has a number of phases to go. We've done the development phase. We have the structural phase in place. We are a 501c3. We also have a 7-member board. We have standardized meetings, and we have a structure in place. We have an entire program, and all of that's set up and ready to go. What we now need to do is slowly increase the number of veterans that Lynn is able to work with. That's part of kind of a trial period where we work out the bugs in the program. Again, all this is free to all the veterans that participate. Right now we're looking for veterans with dogs that have challenges in their behavior. The reason for that is because our facility is not prepared for the rescuing of dogs, because that takes a great deal of care and time in order to be able to even prepare them and get them, gather them and prepare them. So the next phase would be develop the facility. We have a tremendous facility. Now our board has wisely asked, why this facility? Why not go out and find a new facility? Why not buy land and build a building, and so on and so forth? So the reason that we're looking to use this facility is because this is Lynn's home. There's a caretaker, 24/7, present. Also, there's a kennel license already here. Try to get a kennel license out there. Also, buy land, build a building. So for a fraction of the cost and for a much shorter period of time in terms of turnaround, we can rehab structurally this building, set it up, fit it out, and then make it a place where Lynn's willing to give up some 80% of her property and her privacy in order to make this project happen and provide a sanctuary for both the rescue dogs and the veterans themselves. Right now, phase 1, we're looking to raise money to be able to provide Lynn with 2 main things. Number 1, time and focus. And number 2 is to have a vehicle that's reliable, that can get her to the veterans' homes, and also go with them and her pack dogs, because she does take pack animals as part of the process. So those are the 2 first things. That's about $50,000. So we're looking to raise that amount of money as soon as possible. Phase 2 is really, let's work on the facility. Once we get the facility ready, then we can bring the rescue dogs into the equation, which means we can bring veterans into the equation that don't have dogs. And then we can start to bring the community into the equation as well. That's more of about $250,000, somewhere in the $250,000 range, which also includes not only the structural aspect, of the building and the fitting out, but also the exterior with the fencing, the yards, the play yards, the training yards, the seasonal indoor training that we have available, and so on. Meeting areas, and also it's just basically make this place functional to so that we can serve as many as possible. Currently, Lynn is serving between 1 and 3 veterans a year. We'd like to step that up to between 40 and 60. We can do that after our first full year of operation. We could actually expand it beyond that because we have an outside facility that will be a staging area for rescue dogs, which will maximize the quality and the selection of the dogs and the pairing with the veterans. So all of this is step by step. Our annual operating is estimated when we're fully operational to be somewhere around $750,000. And so that's what we're looking to do, and that's where we're looking to go.
It is the money holding us back. That is the bottom line. And I always hated that thought, but I'm just saying money's necessary. That's what makes things go. And so that is why we're doing this. We really would love to raise enough money to do the work, to get out there, to help veterans, to help dogs. That's just the bottom line, period. Money's important.
When a veteran first discovers that they have PTSD, it's a challenging time. It can be very extreme. That's not really a case for us to work with. That's where the VA is phenomenal. They come in, they take care of, in a triage kind of approach, the initial needs. Once that is done, and now they need a long period of time of stabilization. That's where we come in. We help them stabilize that part of it. We're not qualified to do those extreme cases. We're not looking to do that. But we are looking to do our part, which is small in some respects and large in the others. Because when a veteran first discovers that they have PTSD, the critical period of time is 4 years after they're out of the military. If they can stay alive that 4 years, then we've had a success rate. The suicide rate is tremendous within that 4-year period.